Today has been a crazy day for the NBA. As first reported by Yahoo Sports, Kawhi Leonard wants to be traded from the San Antonio Spurs. Kawhi and the Spurs have had their beef all season, and as you know, he sat practically the entire year. Whether he was healthy or not, there were clearly some big internal issues, and now the first domino has fallen in what looks to be a huge NBA offseason. Kawhi's decision might just be what it takes to form the next big super team in the NBA. What's going on, basketball fans? My name is Josh and I am back with another video. There are very few things better than the NBA offseason. 2 years ago, Kevin Durant made the decision to sign with the Golden State Warriors. And since then, no team except for the Houston Rockets have really gotten close to taking them off of their throne. Every single franchise in the league is trying to build a super team that can compete with the Warriors. Last offseason, we saw several attempts. We saw Melo and PG go to OKC. Gordon Hayward and Kyrie went to the Boston Celtics, Jimmy Butler to the T-Wolves, and then we saw CP3 go to the Houston Rockets. But even after all these players were traded, it still wasn't enough to take down the Golden State Warriors. Now here we are in the 2018 offseason, and now LeBron is a free agent, Paul George is a free agent, and the best two-way player in the game, Kawhi Leonard, just requested a trade. Now Kawhi came out and said that he wants to go to LA, preferably the LA Lakers. The Lakers are at the top of his list, and that's exactly where he wants to be traded. But the Spurs have the final decision on where he might go. If you guys remember with Kyrie Irving last year, his list included teams like San Antonio, like the New York Knicks, but he ended up being traded to the Boston Celtics. But the interesting thing here is that the Lakers have so much leverage in this situation because they know that Kawhi wants to play there. Every other team knows that Kawhi could potentially be a one-year rental. Teams like Boston or Philly, I mean, how much do they really want to give up just to have Kawhi Leonard for 1 year? We saw this happen last year when Paul George and Jimmy Butler were available. Danny Ainge isn't interested in a rental, but rather in building a dynasty, and that's exactly what we saw with Boston this year. Kyrie is still super young, Jason Tatum only 20 years old, Jaylen Brown only 21 years old. Will Danny Ainge want to scrap all of that to acquire Kawhi Leonard? And you also don't know how Kawhi Leonard is going to fit in on this team because what Boston has right now is working out pretty well. So we'll see if Boston is willing to pull the trigger. But to me, I honestly think Kawhi Leonard is heading out to LA. A lot has to happen before any trade does go down, but if Kawhi does go to LA, it'll be the first domino in a series of a ton more to fall. We all know that PG has a ton of interest in playing with the Lakers. He said that last year before he was traded to OKC. Now if Kawhi goes to LA, I'm sure that PG is going to follow. And if PG follows, I mean, it makes sense for LeBron James to do the exact same thing. LeBron has 2 houses in LA, his family loves it out there, and it makes sense for LeBron to spend the next couple of years of his career out with the LA Lakers to play with Kawhi Leonard and potentially Paul George. The crazy thing is, all of this is relatively possible. The Lakers have the cap space to sign 2 guys to a max deal, and they have the assets to potentially trade for Kawhi Leonard. What they give up in that deal, we honestly don't know. It'll most likely be probably Lonzo Ball, Brandon Ingram, Kyle Kuzma maybe, but we'll see what happens there. On paper, a team of the 3 best two-way players in the game looks unstoppable. Paul George, Kawhi Leonard, and then the best player in the game, LeBron James, on the same team. Now we're talking about a team that can compete with the Golden State Warriors. Like I said, a lot has to go down before any of this can actually materialize, but it's still a very likely possibility. Kawhi to the Lakers would be insane, and he for sure just shook up the NBA. Now if you're the Spurs, you kind of have to trade Kawhi Leonard this summer because his value is still high, and if you don't trade him now, he'll walk away for nothing exactly a year from right now, and you don't want that to happen. Kawhi is a top 5 player in the game, and it could take years, possibly decades, to get another player like a Kawhi Leonard. I mean, they don't come often. So Pop and the Spurs have a really big decision to make. Can he work it out with Kawhi, and can he keep Kawhi in San Antonio? It's looking like it's not going to happen. Chris Haynes reported that Kawhi Leonard's relationship with the Spurs is beyond repairable. But this is so interesting. Like I said, this is the first domino to fall in what looks like to be a crazy offseason. We could very well see Kawhi, LeBron, and Paul George all in a Laker uniform by the end of this summer. I mean, this is wild. So we'll see if Magic Johnson is willing to pull the trigger on any trade. I think he's the guy to do it. I mean, he wants to win, and he wants to win now. And this is the time to do it. LeBron is available, Paul George is available, and Kawhi Leonard could be the guy that tips the whole thing off. So we'll see. But I am super excited for this offseason. I mean, today is really the first day when things are getting crazy, and we've got the draft coming up here in about a week or so, and then free agency about 2 or 3 weeks out. So it's going to be super interesting, super crazy. Make sure you guys hit that subscribe button for more NBA content. Also hit that like button if you enjoyed. But that's it for me. Until next time, peace.